How to initialize struct fields at declaration in C, a guide to default constructor. In C++, the concept of a default constructor is a well-known feature, allowing the initialization of object fields to default values upon object creation. However, C, being a procedural language, lacks built-in support for constructors. This guide explores methods to simulate a default constructor in C to initialize struct fields upon declaration. Initializing struct fields at declaration. Unlike C++, C does not provide constructors or destructors. However, there are alternative ways to initialize struct fields at the time of struct declaration to achieve similar functionality. Using designated initializers. C99 introduced designated initializers, which can be used to initialize specific fields of a struct at the time of declaration. It provides clarity and ensures that only the relevant fields are initialized without affecting other uninitialized fields. In this example, the struct point is declared and initialized with the values 10 for x and 20 for y. This approach closely mimics the concept of a default constructor by explicitly setting default values upon declaration. Using macros for initialization. Another effective method is to use macros to create default initialization functions. This can provide a reusable and consistent way to initialize struct fields with default values across various parts of your C code. By defining a macro default underscore point, we can initialize a point struct with default values easily. This approach encapsulates the default values within a macro, providing a cleaner and more maintainable codebase. Creating initialization functions. Creating a custom initialization function can be another viable way to ensure that struct fields are initialized with default values. This method centralizes initialization logic, making your code more modular and testable. Here, the function createDefaultPoint initializes the struct point with default values. This function can be called whenever a new point needs to be created with the same default initialization. Conclusion. While C does not have constructs like C++'s constructors, it provides alternative methods to initialize struct fields effectively. Using designated initializers, macros, or custom initialization functions allows you to simulate the behavior of default constructors and maintain clean and readable code. By employing these techniques, you can enhance the quality and maintainability of your C programs.